Hi, I'm Oz. You may know me from such things as the Anni and Jasmin recap of 18th of September and the bloopers of the recap of the 18th of September. Hi everyone, welcome to the next recap. It's really hot out here, but welcome to Sydney. We're at Clark's Point today. Yeah, so let's go. So we last left off with Yasmin at the press conference for her new fragrance by Buddy Straightforward, and she is launching it and she sees Annie across the street with her little puppy face, ooh sad, and she can't take it anymore, so she tells the press she's in love with a woman! Yay! But you'll have to excuse me, but it's a 14-minute long clip that I'm reviewing today, so I'm gonna have to refer to my notes because it can't be that good. Okay, so we start off back at the press conference. Press have erupted, they're going nuts. They're asking Yasmin 1,000 questions. Oh, are you bisexual now? What does your husband think about this? Blah, blah, blah. Pretty sure she's divorced now, I don't know where they're getting that from. But yeah, so in the middle of it, while they're going nuts, Yasmin and Annie they share this really cute look from across the street, and it's like doo doo doo, slow motion, and they're sweet, and oh, anyway. Then the press sees it and they turn around and they go, "Oh, is that the chick you were making out with the other day in the club?" And then Annie's like, "Is that a snake?" No, never mind. Anyway, back to this. Yes, so the press is like, "Hey, is that her?" And they like chase her, and Annie's like, "Oh shit," and she books it out of there. By the way, I must mention though that one of the press ladies is actually the same lady, the actress who played the customs officer when Annie was leaving to go to Barcelona. And she was also the press lady at a Kurt and Yasmin press conference earlier, so she probably got fired and then went an interim job and then started again as press. So Annie and Yasmin rush into their apartment, slamming the door shut because the press are chasing them. And Annie is, "Was für das denn? What the hell was that?" Yasmin tells her she couldn't stand it anymore, and they're like hugging each other and touching each other, and she says, "The press is now going to get worse," and she says, "I don't care," and she says, "So you're into women now?" And Yasmin says, "No," and there's this little gasp that Annie lets out. It's super cute, but then Yasmin says, "No, I'm just into you." Oh, it's so cute. Yasmin is super in love with Annie, and she wants the whole world to know, and she doesn't care what the cost is. God, they better kiss, otherwise I'm gonna explode here. Oh, you guys, this is true love. Super true love. I hope I get true love like this one day. Any ladies out there? Ladies? Any ladies? Okay, let's go back to this. So, oh, they're kissing. Oh, they're kissing! Keep kissing! Oh my God! I think that Yasmin actually lifts Annie up at this point and puts her on the kitchen counter. Why did we have to cut away from that? Why? We cut to the couch. They're on the couch. Oh, they're on the couch. I'm sorry, I blinked and I missed that whole 5 seconds. So we should rewind it and watch it again. Let's just watch it again in slow motion. How about that? So I love everything about this scene. The Yasmin being on top, Annie wrapping her legs around Yasmin. Yasmin's sly little boob grab. Yes, we saw that. We totally saw that. Yasmin sort of pushing into Annie. It's the best scene in history, and it lasts for 2 seconds. Could we not have gotten just a tad, just a bit longer? Catherine storms in. "Yasmin, what were you thinking?" Yasmin's like, I don't want to do it anymore. And yet Catherine is all like, "You will apologize. You will call and you will apologize." What is she, 2 years old? She doesn't have to do anything. Of course, Yasmin's like, "No, I'm standing up for myself. I'm a grown woman. I'm not doing anything anymore because I will love whoever I want to love, and you can't tell me that. I'm out. I'm out. And that's when in the background you see Annie perking up all proud of her girl. Yasmin tells Katrin she's just going to pay the penalty and be done with it. And then I hate the way that Katrin here, with a smug little face, is like, whoa, how the hell are you going to afford 10,000 euros? I would love to see you try and pay back 10,000 euros. Blah, 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 blah. We can't lose Ruhse as a client. Business talk, whatever. But Yasmin stands up for herself. Woohoo! You go, Yasmin. You go, girl. She won't do it anymore. Annie in the background looking sympathetic, but she is super proud. Katrin is like, that's the last time I support you. You'll get no help from me ever again. I'm out. And she slams the door. Bam! So Katrin has stormed out of the apartment. She's now on the phone with Varis, backpedaling, trying to fix the situation. Oh, we can fix it. Don't worry. Leave it to me. Sophie bumps into her at the end of the phone call and asks her if she's spoken to Yasmin yet. Yes, she spoke to Yasmin. She interrupted a moment, very awesome moment, to yell at her. But now she tells Sophie that Varis has cancelled the campaign. It's all off now. And she says, it's all your fault, Sophie. All your fault. Because you incited my minor daughter into rebelling. Sophie tells her, I have had enough of this feud. And Catherine's like, why don't you quit? Oh, bitch! You just been told. The next scene was Anni and Jasmin visiting Tuna in the hospital, which is a super sweet scene. Except that Yasmin is they're both going back there to ask Tuna for the money back. They're like, ooh, we kind of need the 10,000 euro back. He's like, you're joking, right? But Annie explains that Yasmin had to pretend to be straight, the press were after her, and Tuna's like, well, I guess the cafe will have to slip into the red. I mean, like, come on, Tuna, have a heart, have a heart. Oh, shit, I mean, you'll get a heart eventually. Let's move on. Janina owns this scene with her one single little tear that rolls down when she's, oh, I'm so sorry, Tuna. Gosh, she nails these one single tear scenes. But in the end, Tuna's like, there's more important things than money. The most important thing is that you girls are happy. So, oh, Tuna. So the next scene is Sophie and Leon in the convenience store where they have a magic moment by reaching for the same invented Karabar, which we have to halt for a second while we have the GZSZ fun fact. Absolutely every product you see on the screen is designed with its own logo and packaging by their GZSZ design department. From the websites that they visit to the magazines you see, the food in the stores and posters, everything hung up, it's all made by the GZSZ designers. So shout out to you guys. And in fact, I want to eat one right now. Here's a carrot bar that I prepared earlier. So yeah, basically, Sophie tells Leon about the whole campaign and tells him the whole stress behind what happened with Yasmin and how she's like no longer part of the campaign. She goes to grab a magazine to show him what she's talking about, and he like smells the perfume. And but I love how like the second she goes away to get the magazine, he's like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna keep it for myself, and tries to steal it off her, but she won't. You know, she doesn't have any of that. She just takes it off. But God damn! Why won't you open? Oh, look at that. Perks of living in Australia. It's melted. So Leon is smelling the perfume and he's like, oh, that's delicious. I would wear that. And Sophie's like, oh, that's a woman's perfume. And he's like, oh, really? Then Leon's like, well, I guess I'll see you later at the Mao work reopening. And Sophie's like, shit, I have to work. So there's that. So this gives Sophie an idea to change up the campaign. And the next thing we see her pitching the idea to Catherine, saying that straightforward shouldn't be just for straight people. It drives everyone wild. Bi, straight, gay, old, young, everyone. So finally, thank God, a campaign that makes sense. This is what it should have been from the beginning. In fact, they should just keep Yasmin on as the gay version, the lesbian version of this campaign. Catherine loves the idea, but I think she's not giving anything away. She won't give Sophie the satisfaction of saying, yes, I love this idea. She's like, yes, I see, it's quite satisfactory. So then Gurna comes in, talking business stuff, blah, 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 whatever. Sophie tells him that she has an idea to save the day, because Gurna's talking about something about a phone conference with one of the investors tomorrow, and he has to have it. But Catherine suggests that they should all just be part of the phone conference in the morning, and but what is Catherine up to now? What is she plotting? All right, next scene is the Mao work reopening. And they're all standing around Leon, who's in the middle of the bar, and they're toasting away. And Leon asks Yasmin, "Where's Annie?" She's over by some sound equipment, fixing something, but with some guy that I've never even heard of, Sputnik, Spock, I don't know, whatever his name is. And at this point, Yasmin looks over at Annie, and it's super, super sweet, and she smiles sweetly, and of course, Annie's smiling sweetly. They're so in love. And Yasmin can't stand being apart from her, so she gets 2 glasses of champagne, takes them over to Annie, and then they embrace. But Annie's still very cautious, I think, from the whole campaign, so she's barely touching her hip, going, "Oh, well, I'm sure we'll find." He toasts to them, and Yasmin says that the whole thing was totally worth it. Oh, and they have a totally cute little nose rub, which is their signature thing. So this next scene is Gurna, Catherine, and Sophie in the Metropolitan Trends offices, where they're having a phone conference with one of the investors, Wagner. And, they're blah, 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 backpedaling with the whole campaign. Sorry that this happened, yada, yada, yada. But the main point of this whole scene is the fact that Catherine, evil conniving bitch, is actually dealing her final fatal blow to Sophie, or a couple of final blows, by not only stealing her idea for the new campaign idea, but she also starts planting the seed of doubt into the investor's head, that Sophie's actually not qualified and not up to the job of head editor. So the next scene is Yasmin and Annie in their apartment, and Yasmin is reading some tabloids, and she's trying not to read the tabloids, and she's all like, "Oh, I don't even want to know what's happening with these tabloids," and Annie tells her not to read it, and Yasmin says, "I'm pretty sure that Explore Friends won't be any better," which is like the GZSZ version of Facebook. It's again another GZSZ designed, invented idea. And I love how her cover image is even an invented fashion designer called Armand Cantani. It even sounds real, doesn't it? And her laptop is made by Sunny. So she finds out on her Explore Friends that at first she thought there was going to be shit talk all over it, but it's actually they're actually rallying behind her, and she finds out that the community loves her, and they started a crowdfunding campaign for 20,000 euros to try and raise the money for Yasmin for her penalty fee. Take my money, Yasmin. Take it. I'll give you all my money. Okay, not all my money. Some of my money. A little of my money. I'll give you some of my money. So then we cut back across to the Metropolitan Trends offices, where the captain has now convinced the editor that Sophie is not capable of remaining as head editor. And we get lots of concerned looks from Gurna, and we get evil dagger eyes from Sophie, because they're all on the conference call at this point and they can't really say anything. And Gurna's trying to get them to, keep it within internally, he's like, can we not talk about this later? But Catherine is using this. This is her way to get rid of Sophie once and for all. And at this point, Catherine is calmly sipping away on her coffee as she's like watching the downfall of Sophie. That bitch. Catherine, not Sophie, that is. And then we cut to a bit later on where obviously Catherine and Sophie are out of the room. They're just outside the offices, and Sophie's like, "You're not gonna get away with this." And Catherine says, "Is that so?" "Yes, that is so." That was a bit Jinglish there, wasn't it? She says, "I guess that's it for you then," as she sees going to hang up the phone all angry. And then the next scene, Sophie storms in and is like, "What did Wagner say?" And Gurner's like, "I'm sorry, but you know, you're not going to be head editor anymore. You're going to be deputy." Sophie's like, "You stole my idea," and Catherine with her smug, evil little face again, being like, "Ha ha ha! Oh well, you know, I'm only doing what's best for the magazine. Just as Gurner, I am only looking out for the interests of the magazine." Bullshit, bullshit, Catherine. And now, the last scene is Gurner saying, "Well, Sophie, looks like you've been demoted to deputy editor." Dun dun dun! So this recap today proudly brought to you by this hand, which I'll use to slap the smug smirk off of Catherine's face. Freaking boats this time! Can't we never escape these things? Spank that monkey! Holy shit, what's that? Ah! Look at the size of this thing! Get it off, get it off! Oh my god, it was like a bee or something. We didn't think this through, did we?